How's everybody today? Right. Not sunny, but just unless it's my eyes or something, I have to start wearing sunglasses. I'm come to the coffee shop, my local coffee shop. Nut, remember the crazy lady in the video? They live just down the road from where I live. I come here to get some tea. I'm going to drive down to a outlet mall. But this used to be her brother's shop, and he made it in a hardware store. So apparently this is a, I can't read the sign, but it's a noodle shop, which is like a franchise, I'm told. So this was a shop that sells hardware like plumbing and stuff, but it didn't work. So now they turned it into a noodle shop, and the mascot is Spider-Man. So now they got this lady here selling noodles and different things too. Nut here all by herself selling coffee in a hardware store that didn't work. And now look at it. They just come to the mall, a different mall. You got this little guy here, lady. It's a stray dog. What's interesting is, even though she's a stray dog, there's no dog catcher to come catch her. What happens is, she just lives here. She's been here, I've seen her many times. And what Thai people do is, they'll buy her something from one of the shops and leave it with her. And the cleaning lady, the lady who cleans the toilets when I was here last time, she gives her food too. So she brings food from her house to feed the dog. Whereas in America, they'd catch the dog, take it to a dog pound, leave it for a few weeks, and if nobody collects it in a few weeks, they put it to sleep. I know this to be a fact, because that's what they did where I lived. And in England, I believe they do the same, in other Western countries, the same. But in Thailand, never. There are people who will go on a scooter. They'll collect food from a restaurant in the evening, and they have their circuit, and you can drive behind somebody, they'll stop and feed the dogs. And you know that somebody's coming because the dogs will congregate and wait for the person who's going to come feed them that night. Amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Good afternoon, guys. How's it going? Well, I can just come out and about, come in for a cold drink, and I thought I'd sit down and chat to you guys. Today is, I think, 21 August, and yesterday's video I talked about are you listening? Or I am listening. And what was cool is some of the comments were crazy, outstanding, you know, and I told a story about Dr. Vu, and this morning somebody mentioned that in Australia, a lady doctor told her daughter she was going to be a doctor, and she committed suicide while she was still at university. And what she really wanted to be was an artist. You know, I'm like, how many times have we heard these stories? You know, parents putting pressure on their children to be something that the parent wants. And I've said this 1,000 times, you know. When somebody has a baby, the parent has a baby, it doesn't mean you own that child. Because the body you brought into this world, but the spirit of the person that's in there is unique. And you can't control it. You know, you can't control that child. It's if they're doing drugs or doing something that's going to hurt them or something like that, you can only encourage. You know, it's hard enough to control yourself, let alone controlling somebody else. But if you want to be an artist, you know, an artist's brain is completely different than a doctor's brain. Logic, you know. I remember here's a little example. I worked for, I was doing IT and doing networking, okay? I built networks, maintained computers, put them on a network computers, you know, shared databases and share this and share that. And that's what I did for a company. And somebody approached me and said they wanted to hire me, but then I needed to know how to do art packages, I needed to know databases, I needed to know so many different things. I said, no, you're not going to find somebody like that. You know, each discipline has a completely different character. And he was like, whatever, didn't want to listen to me. 3 weeks later or so, he come back to me and said, you're right. I'm like, dude, I don't say things because I just want to make air move from my mouth. I say that because it's fact. You know, I work in the industry, so, because if you look at a database guy, and then look at a Unix man, look at an honest man. They're all completely different people. And it's the same as, I think, when you have a child. You know, children, they can take advice or they don't take advice. They can believe whatever they want to believe. They can impose, you know, they can believe anything they want. So, and all you can do is try to help. You know, if they turn out to be an idiot, then that's you tried. That's all you can do. But you can't control somebody. I have an idea. I got this idea about 3 or 4 months ago, just like a little glimmer. And I didn't think much about it. I just kind of let the idea go. And then yesterday, or day before yesterday, it came back strong. So I thought, and I've been thinking about it. I'm not going to do anything about it, but I just thought it's a cool idea. Let's say I went to the Amazon and I found this rare flower, and you smell it and it's just like so beautiful. And you go, wow, I would really like to share this with people. So you make a video about it and you say to the person, smell this flower on the video. So, and you put it on YouTube. But just an idea, right? With your camera comes a microphone or a recording device that can actually smell the flower. And then turns that data into a digital format. So when I video it, the video goes with audio, visual, and smell in all the data. So when you upload it to, say, YouTube, right, you get the visual, and then, because what is visual? Visual is 30 or 60 or 120 frames per second. And then when you edit it, you say how many frames per second. A lot of people use 24 frames per second in editing, so that you're losing 6 frames per minute. No, per second, right? It's so many frames per second. So, and then, but then you have audio that's running along with that, and then you could have smell. So you record the smell, you upload it, and then people have a printer. So you say, how am I supposed to smell this? So people would have a printer, not printing on, you know, like a 2D format on a piece of paper, but it's, if you look at some of the dot matrix color ones, you know, most people, you don't use laser for art, you use dot matrix with many different colors, right? Like I think it's 5 colors. But if you had the same arrangement with many different base smells, or what would you say, oral factory smells, or oral factory selection, I don't know, whatever the technical term is. But so when you watch the video, the printer goes, hey, here's my signal, and it converts that signal into what it understands using 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 base smells to create the smell of the orchid that was in the Amazon River in your living room, say in New York City, Bangkok. What do you think? Good idea? I'd never heard of that before. You know, I said I first come across it 3 months ago, but I think I'm pretty sure I thought about it before that. I was just wondering if anybody else ever heard anything, somebody producing that. What you doing all the way up there? Good evening. I'm home again. So, I hope you had a good day. I was out scouting about looking for some shirts and things, but it didn't work out. Very difficult to find clothes to fit me here in Thailand. I'm not a slim, small chap. So I was home this afternoon, and there's a knock on the door. Never get a knock on the door. It was my friend with the cantaloupes. I noticed like 2 days ago they harvested and took them all, gone. I wanted to see them like one more time, but when I went there it was like, boop, all gone. So when they're ready, they're ready. I didn't think anything about it, but just that they were gone, I didn't get a chance to show you. But today he knocked on the door, and he gave me 2 big cantaloupes. Really look nice, so I'll be chowing on them in the next few days. So when I got home, I went into the house and did a search online to see about how's that anybody talking about that printer. And I found one YouTube clip that 6-7 years ago a Japanese scientist had the same idea. And what did he use? An inkjet printer. He modified it inkjet printer, and what he said was, you know, I agree that, you know, if you've ever been to smell perfume and you spray it on that card and you go and then do it like 3 times and you can't smell nothing else. So what he said was he designed the printer to give a cross section of smells, but only a tiny little flash that lasted a couple milliseconds, so that you could continue to smell different smells. Otherwise, you know, once your nose is full, it shuts down. So I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys had a wonder-filled day. Buckets of blessings, rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. Look after yourselves. See you in the morning. Good night, guys.